Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai. Shri Shri Gauranitai Ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Caitanya Caritamrita Ki Jai. Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Let's continue from where we left off, just to give a recap of what we saw. So we are in the section where Srila Rupa Goswami is being instructed by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Prayag. So for 10 days, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Srila Rupa Goswami on a number of topics about bhakti, about the process of devotional service. And in the previous class, we saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starting his instructions to Srila Rupa Goswami by establishing how rare it is to find Krishna's devotees. That's where we finished. Koti jnani madhyahaya ekajana mukta, koti mukta madhya durlabha eka Krishna bhakta. So if you take 10 million jnanis, even to come to the position of jnani also takes a lot of lifetimes. But after someone has come to that position, you take millions of them. Koti jnani madhyahaya ekajana mukta. Among all of those jnanis, rarely one will be a mukta, a genuinely liberated person. Koti mukta madhya durlabha eka Krishna bhakta. Now among all those liberated souls, jnanis itself to come to that platform is difficult. Millions of them, to find a liberated person is rare among them. You take millions of such liberated souls. Koti mukta madhya durlabha eka Krishna bhakta. It's still even more rare, very, very rare to find Krishna's devotees. Sometimes, not sometimes, it's always said, familiarity breeds contempt. So when we come to the temple, when we are in a community of devotees, every soul is rare. We are also rare. Somehow, we can also count ourselves as devotees. But it's very important to understand how rare every soul is. We should always pray to Sri Shri Radha Gopinath to give us that understanding, that vision, to understand how rare it is to find association of devotees. How rare it is to find somebody practicing bhakti. Outside of the devotee circle you go, you will always feel uncomfortable discussing any topic of spirituality because you know rarely the ideas converge. If you go from Shastric perspective, when people go from speculative perspective, rarely they converge. And you'll be craving, who's that audience or who's that person with whom I can openly and freely talk, freely express myself as a devotee of Krishna. So even if we take our own friend circle, we look around outside of the devotee circle and we see how many people can we talk about Krishna to. Very few. Some people may actually listen just for the relationship we have with them. Could be friendship, could be any kind of relationship. Just to respect that they may sit and hear. But it's very, very rare to discuss, the very, very rare opportunity we get to discuss about Krishna. So, first thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu establishes is about the rarity of a Krishna Bhakta. We were also discussing, if you remember, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started his analysis right from 8.4 million species and how human beings are the minorities among the 8.4 million species. And then from there, total karmis, then karmakandis, then jnanis, and then muktas, then bhakta. Then among the bhakta there are pure souls also, pure devotees also. So it's very, very rare. So after establishing about the rarity of a Krishna Bhakta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then discusses about the famous analogy. If you have read teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada refers to this in so many places. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Caitanya Caritamrita and other places as well. So today's topic is the next section, and that is the process of cultivating Krishna Bhakti. So this is Madhya Lila chapter 19, verse 151 to 165. We'll see how much we can cover today. Otherwise some may spill over to the next week. What is bhakti? Bhakti generally means love for God. Prabhupada would often say the purpose of any religion, the purpose of any path of spirituality is to rekindle the love which all of us have within our heart to Krishna. This is the purpose of any religion. Somebody may be of a different faith, but religion means it's supposed to help manifest that love which we all have within our heart towards the Supreme Lord, depending on whichever faith one comes from. So to understand about the process of religion, the purpose of religion, it's very vital. Many times if we don't understand that, then we become ritualists. We just go to the temple, we just bow down, without really being conscious of what we are doing. The way how it works in spirituality is the more conscious, the more aware we are, more progress we can make. It is said in the scriptures, if one takes Krishna Prasad, little bit, without even realizing that this is, Prasad means mercy, without even realizing that this is Vishnu Prasad or Krishna Prasad, they are guaranteed human form of life in the next birth. Just eating it. You don't even need to realize it, you don't even need to appreciate it, nothing, just eat. Which means whoever comes to the temple, bare minimum, and make sure you take prasad also. Take Charanamrit, when you go out you will see prasad. If somebody takes prasad without even realizing what it is, bare minimum, one will get human birth in their next life. There is a story about Ramanujacharya. Once when he goes with his disciples, one disciple brings him some Mahaprasad from Ranganath temple in South India. So he picks up few grains from the Mahaprasad and throws it on the pond. Few fishes, they come, they eat, and right in front of everyone's eyes, they take the four-handed form, get liberated and go to spiritual world. Ramanujacharya picks up few more. Next time you eat, you be careful. You may manifest the four-armed forms at any time. So he puts it. Again, few more fishes come, eat and they go. The disciples now had a very serious question, serious doubt within their heart, which is, we have also been eating Mahaprasad every day. Why is it we are still in the human body and why are the fishes alone getting liberated? So when that question was put forth to Ramanujacharya, he says that fishes, they are innocent. That's how they catch fish, right? They put a worm inside in a hook. They very innocently come and take shelter. Taking shelter means you have no other reservation. Radhashyam Prabhu gives this beautiful analogy. Taking shelter means, let us say you are out in the playground playing, you are very tired, very thirsty. And then you come under a tree shade, one of your friends gives you a bottle of cool water. You can't wait to open and then you pour it on your mouth, right? When the water touches your tongue, at that time there is nothing that exists in this world, correct? You have spiritual experience, correct? That is shelter. Just like how a person walking in the sun, facing the unbearable heat of the scorching sun, when they come under the shade, how they would take shelter. When a person who is so thirsty, and when they are given a bottle of water, when they drink, how they will take shelter of the water. Even if somebody may talk something which is desirable, they'll like, everything else can wait. I have to drink. Understand? This is taking shelter. When Mahaprasad comes, fishes went and took shelter. When Mahaprasad come in front of us, we see which of the items are our favorites. You understand where the difference is? They take shelter, we pick and choose. So to the extent that we are surrendered to take complete shelter, just like how we take shelter of the shade, shelter of water, how the fishes took shelter of any food that comes their way. To that extent, if we are taking, then the benefits will be so much more. I'll come to that shortly. But if somebody, even without realizing it's prasad, just eats it accidentally, they are guaranteed human form of life. But if someone while eating, they appreciate the taste of it, can I get some of that? Just a little appreciation, even on a physical level, which is taste. Such a person will not only take a human birth in the next life, but in addition to taking a human birth, they will also become devotee of the Lord. Third level is like that of the fish. If somebody takes the prasad, appreciating the taste, but more importantly, appreciating the mercy that it is coming directly from the Supreme Lord's own plate, if they take full shelter, they can go back to spiritual life in this life itself. This is how merciful bhakti is. You can eat your way back to Godhead. If we simply appreciate that this is mercy of the Lord, and when we eat, we do it as a process of meditation. Prabhupada would do that. There are many instances of Prabhupada's disciples saying how Prabhupada would be having a meeting, but as soon as prasadam comes, Prabhupada would go to his shell and he would just sit, meditate, and he would chew. Let me taste what Krishna has tasted. With that consciousness, Prabhupada would eat. Prabhupada would not talk. So when we eat, that's why we say it's honoring prasad. That's not the time to talk out loud. That's not the time. Even on a more practical level, scientific level, it's not good for our digestion either. When you talk, when you eat, chew, talk, your stomach will get confused. Should I secrete the gastric juice or should I not? So we should honor the prasad. Okay, this is the mercy. Prasad means mercy. This is Gopinath's Mahaprasad. So when it comes, we need to take. So with that knowledge, when we practice anything, then the benefits you will get in a much, much more higher level. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing on the process of devotional service, which is bhakti. But the first step, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, is about rarity. How rare it is to find a Krishna's devotee. So that's your take-home message from previous class. If you have forgotten, I'm giving you the same take-home message now. Next time you come across devotees, don't look down. We need everyone.
if we have trouble associating with the devotees, Goloka Vrindavan is full of them. We'll have trouble going to Goloka Vrindavan. So we have to understand, if we don't like association of devotees means we are still in a diseased condition. Okay, so we have to be very, very mindful that this is the people who you see in this room, who you see in any Sangha. This is the people I like to be with. This is the people I like to hang out with. This is the Sangha I desire. So the more we develop appreciation, the more we will be able to take shelter of the process. More we will be able to increase devotional assets. Later on we will see a famous story of Sakshi Gopal, a deity of Lord Krishna who walked thousands of miles just to be a witness in a court case. Gopinath has traveled even more. Gopinath has come from India multiple times. Okay, so we have a miracle right in front of us here. But then there is one other that's given in Caitanya Caritamrita. We'll come to that later. But in that particular pastime, there's one instance where the Brahmana says that normally we think, okay, if I serve a devotee, what do I get? That thought comes. Why is scriptures always say Vaishnava Seva, Vaishnava Seva? In fact, it's one of the 3 basic tenets of Krishna consciousness. Namaruchi, Jivadoya and Vaishnava Seva. These are the 3 basic tenets of Krishna consciousness. Namaruchi means developing a taste to chant Krishna's name. And Krishna has got unlimited names. Govinda, Mukunda, Madhava, Gopinatha, Madan Mohana, so on and so forth. To develop taste for those names of Krishna. Hare, Krishna, Rama. So that is the first one. Namaruchi. Second is Jivadoya. Jiva means anything that has life. It's Jiva. Doya means to be merciful to them, to be kind towards them. So we need to be kind towards not just humans, kind towards every living entity. That's why vegetarianism is so much part of any path of spirituality. What to speak of bhakti? Even jnanis, if they properly follow, jnanis are not supposed to take non-vegetarian food. Yogis, definitely not. Ahimsa is one of the principles. Okay, one of the niyama. One of the do's. So in this way, we can see Jivadoya. That's the second principle. Namaruchi, Jivadoya. Third is Vaishnava Seva. Vaishnava means devotee of Krishna. Vaishnava Seva means, you can sit down. Vaishnava Seva. Vaishnava means devotees. Seva means to serve the devotees. Like how she is doing. This is serving devotees. Good. That's a practical demonstration. Now what do we get by serving devotees? Simple act of devotion. It said in Caitanya Caritamrita, by serving devotees, we increase our spiritual assets. Spiritual assets means the credit that actually qualifies, first of all, to be peaceful at heart. That qualifies us to be blissful, not just peaceful. Peaceful means lack of any anxieties. Okay, we can say peaceful. How are you? No problem in life. I'm good. So lack of any difficulty, we are misunderstanding that as all in all. But actually that's not all in all. That's just a starting point. You are in from negative axis, now we have come to zero axis. But if you have to go positive, you need bliss. How do we get that bliss? That depends on how much spiritual credit you have. How much spiritual assets you have. How do you increase that spiritual assets? By serving devotees. This is what Caitanya Caritamrita says. Okay, next time when your mind is actually going a little lazy, why do I serve other devotees? Let me just save prasad for myself and just let me just sit and eat. You can eat. Your tongue will be satisfied. If you have good digestion power, maybe your stomach will be satisfied. That's all you will get. But if we serve devotees, not only on a physical level will you be satisfied, your soul will be very peaceful. Your heart will always be filled with bliss. That is why we need to serve. devotees. Okay, Namaruchi is having taste for the holy name. Jivadoya, showing mercy to other living entities. Vaishnava Seva, serving other devotees. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first establishes the point about how rare it is to find a devotee of Krishna. And now let's get on with today's chapter, which is the process of cultivating Krishna Bhakti. How can we cultivate? Sometimes you will see devotees sitting in class, some will be very attentive, and here we will be battling our sleep. How many of you have that experience? Me too. Happens. Sometimes you will see early in the morning devotees are very fresh, and you will be like, why is Krishna consciousness so difficult? You know. Sometimes you will see devotees fasting, fully energetic. And we are scared of fasting, we eat food, still we feel tired. Why is it that devotee, even without eating, going on like that? Why is it I am feeling tired? Because everyone is doing the same process, but how we execute it differs. So this section, if we follow carefully, we will see how to practice bhakti properly, so that we will get proper results. How to follow the process. Even in material sense, these days people say about, oh, let me just follow the process. I'll just follow the process. You will come across businessmen saying it, you will come across cricketers saying it, follow the process. Here is the process, how to become a proper devotee of Krishna. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasadepaya Bhakti Lata Bij. This soul that we have, which is us, we are human souls, we are souls having human experience. The same soul may have been in the body of a dog in the past. At that time, we are the same soul having a dog experience. Does that make sense? Same soul, if it goes into the body of a tree, it's the soul having tree experience. Now I'm in a male's body, soul having the experience of male human. Next life, if I take a female's body, then the same soul, which is me, will go through the experience of being a human in a female body. But primarily we are all spirit souls only. How many options do we have? We have 8.4 million options. Those many different species we can take our birth in. So in this case, we are here within our human body, and while we reside in this human body, by the mercy of Krishna, by the mercy of spiritual master, we receive the seed of bhakti. What does it mean, seed of bhakti? I'll give you a simple example. Let's take a moment to close our eyes. Close your eyes just for 10 seconds. And just go back to the moment in your life, in this birth, when you heard the word Krishna. When you thought, okay, I want to go to the temple. Try to remember the day when you visited the temple, and that can be in any part of the world, it doesn't matter. Try to remember the day when you came in front of the altar of any temple that you liked, and you took darshan of Sri Sri Radha Gopinath or Radha Krishna or any other form of the Lord anywhere in the world. Try to remember the instance when you developed a little interest to know a bit more, to go a bit more deeper in bhakti than just superficially understanding it. Try to remember the instance when you have progressed on the path and started to identify yourself as a devotee of the Lord. Okay, now you can open your eyes. The instance when you think, yep, I like this person, Krishna, who people are talking about. I like going to the temple. Maybe I should know a bit more. that is when the seed has actually, a seed of bhakti has been sown within our heart. There are 8 billion people in the world. Why there is only 8 people sitting inside the temple room now? New South Wales, Sydney has what, like 4.5 million? That's a big population. Why only 8 people here? Of course, there are other places where we are running classes. Still, we are nowhere closer to million. Why? Because few of us were fortunate to get the mercy of Guru and Krishna. That's all. And as devotees of the Lord, it is our responsibility also to share this mercy with at least people within our circle of influence. Could be our friends, could be complete strangers, Jivadoya. Showing mercy to everyone, that includes humans as well. So the first verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, millions of jivas wander in this world going through different experience. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva. But among those unlimited number of jivas going in this cycle of birth and death, changing from one body to another body, plant body, animal body, reptile body, human body, again plant body, going in this circle. Bhagyavan Jiva. When they become fortunate, at that time, Guru Krishna Prasada. Prasada means mercy. Mercy of who? Guru and Krishna. Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. Bija means seed. By the mercy of Guru and Krishna, the seed of bhakti has been sown in the heart. That's why we always express our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada. If Srila Prabhupada hadn't taken the trouble to start ISKCON, there's no temple here, and we all know what we would be doing on a Saturday morning. So, bhakti is a process of gratitude. We always express our gratitude for Krishna, gratitude for Prabhupada, gratitude for other fellow devotees. Now you may not like, let us say in this room, there's like what, 10 of us here altogether. Now you may not like 2 people, but trust me, those 2 people, let us say you come some other day and in the temple room there is only those 2 people and you. You will still feel more protected than when you are sitting in your room alone. How many of you agree with this point? Happens. So we actually appreciate others more than what we realize we do. Does that make sense? We think we don't like them, but then in the absence of anyone, we have to battle with our mind, which is more difficult. Krishna says mind has a very unique quality. Bandhur atmatmanastasya enatmaivat manajita anatmanastu shatrutve varte tatmaiva shatruvat. Mind has a very, very unique ability to take 2 modes. It's either in this mode or in the other mode. What is the 2 mode? It can be the best of friends or worst of enemy. The problem is we don't know when is the mind friend and when is it enemy. Imagine you are going in a car or on a flight and the person, there is only 2 people who can travel in that. Okay, it's a double-seater flight. You are seated right next to a person who can either act as the best of your friend or become the worst of your enemy. How do you think your journey would be? You can't trust them and sleep, because if you sleep, the person may kill you if the mode changes to being that of an enemy. Understand? Krishna says this, mind can be the best of friends or worst of enemies. 2 extremes it takes. When does it act as the friend? When you keep mind under control, then mind is your best friend. When does it become the worst enemy? When mind starts to take lead. When mind starts to turn against you. Taking lead means it turns against you. Mind never tells you what is in the best interest of you. Intelligence only can tell you. Mind will always tell you what's the most easiest thing to do, even if it is wrong. I have exam tomorrow. I need to go for my job. I haven't actually prepared for the exam. And mind will tell you, it's okay, please take rest. Have you got that experience? You stay in the room looks very dirty, you have to clean. Intelligence will say, hey, room is very filthy, you have to clean. But the mind will say, everything is fine. Understand? You have to actually wake up from the bed. Mind will say, don't. That hesitance that you come across to do anything wherein you have to exert yourself, that's your mind talking there. Understand? So we have to control the mind using intelligence. But how can intelligence gain power to control the mind? By studying the Shastras and hearing about Shastras. That's why studying scriptures is important. Understand? So here first point is, the living entities are wandering, but by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, Bhakti, Lata Bij, the seed of Bhakti gets sown in one's heart. So now, going back to our exercise a while ago, you have gone back, you thought, yes, that's the instance in my life when I started to develop some interest. Yes, I started to slowly going to the Sangha of devotees, visiting temple, doing kirtan, taking prasad. Yes, I slowly started to identify myself as the devotee of the Lord. Good. Seed is sown. Now how, from that point, you have come here now, to this stage in your life, wherein now we are thinking, yes, I'm actually a devotee of the Lord. How? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, the seed that was sown within the heart, Malihana kare se bija aropana shravana kirtana jale karaye se chana. The seed of bhakti was sown, but the seed was watered by us. And what is the process of watering? Shravana kirtana. Hearing and chanting the holy name of the Lord. You come to the temple, suddenly you hear what? I still remember, first time I went to ISKCON Adelaide temple. That's where I started my bhakti process. It was after Janmashtami in 2005. So I went there, and then I went there, took darshan of Radha Shyam Sundar, very beautiful. Then I came outside, in the notice board I saw a poster, and there it is said Radhashtami, the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. I was like, huh? There is a birthday for Srimati Radharani also, because normally only birthday for Krishna. Then I still remember the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. Radharani also has got birthday. Okay, I would like to come. So then I came on that evening. The temple community was very small at that time. So evening they had a quiz competition. And whoever answers, they get one Mahaprasad. And the speaker, after giving a short class on Srimati Radharani, speaker was asking, so what is the favorite color of Srimati Radharani? I'm like, huh? Radharani has favorite color also? So every information was like, so thrilling. So what are the 25 qualities of Srimati Radharani? And like, one little kid was saying, she is very merciful. I'm like, you know her? Okay, Everything is very thrilling. Little information you come to know. And then everyone is telling stories, and everyone is saying why Krishna's tilak is red in color. So many things. Then I was like so mesmerized by how much information we know about God, how much information we know about God's most pure devotee, topmost devotee. Shravana Kirtana. So the more we hear about Krishna, Shukadev Goswami, who is the author of Srimad Bhagavatam, he was within the womb of his mother for, usually baby is within the womb of mother for how long? 10 months. He was there inside for almost 16 years, saying, no, I won't come out because outside is Maya. Now Vyasadeva says, this is not possible. How long can lady carry the child? So then Vyasadeva contacts Krishna. Krishna, we got a situation. Then Krishna comes. Krishna talks to the baby within the womb of his mother, saying, okay, I know outside there is Maya, but I assure you, you come out, you will not be influenced by Maya. Then the baby says, all right, If I get influence from you, my Lord, rather assurance from you, my Lord, I know you are regretting. You should have gotten that promise also, right? I can read people's mind. So then he comes out. And then right when he comes out, he walks away, goes to the forest. As per Shastra, Panchasa Urdhvam Vanam Vrajet. When you cross 50 years, at that time only you are supposed to go to forest. But he is born and he is going straight away. Because I have had enough of this world. You are just born now. But being inside the womb, his father is Vedavyasa, who compiled all the Vedas. He has heard Vedavyasa preaching. Within the womb, he was hearing everything. Too difficult, I'm not going. He was inside. But then when he comes out, he goes to the forest. Then Vyasadeva calls him back. Hey Putra, my dear son, please come, please come. Bhagavatam explains the poignant situation there. When Vyasadeva went running after his son, asking him, hey, my dear son, please come, like that. There was no one to respond to that. And all the trees of the nature, out of compassion, they just echoed his sentiments by echoing back that sound vibration. It's given like that. But then wait. Madhurena samapayet. There is no tragic ending in any Vedic story or in any Vedic history. There is always an happy ending. You take even Duryodhana getting killed, Duryodhana goes again to heavenly kingdom. There he will get association of devotees and he can go back. You will think about the most worst situation. You take Kamsa, Krishna after killing him took him to spiritual world. Putana, Krishna killed, took her to spiritual world. Madhurena samapayet. In Caitanya Caritamrita this is explained. Anything has to have a happy ending. If somebody writes a literary work, it needs to have a happy ending. If somebody writes a poem, it needs to have a happy ending. If somebody makes a skit, a drama, it needs to have a happy ending. Our life, we may go through difficulty now, but then a climax will be good. Why? I know it's difficult to believe. I am having everyone showing very expressive faces today. But trust me, it works. So, it has happy ending. It will have happy ending. Any story in Vedic, you take Vishwamitra. First time he does tapasya for 10,000 years. Menaka comes and disturbs. He falls prey victim. And then he loses the power he attained in all those 10,000 years. He curses himself, says, I will just focus. And he sits and focuses. This time Ramba comes. First time Vishwamitra falls for lust. Second time when Indra sends Ramba, Vishwamitra thinks, what does that fool Indra think about me? Does he think I'll fall for the same trap now? Look what I'm going to do to this Apsara, this celestial damsel. With the power of my austerity, I will turn her to stone. That way I'll protect myself from becoming lusty. And then he curses her, she turns into stone. And then he realizes, first time I lost because of lust, second time because of anger. Again he loses 1,000 years of power. Again he sits in tapasya, slowly comes to a point when he becomes a pure devotee. How pure? So pure that even Lord Ram accepted him as his guru. Krishna worshipped him. Because even Durvasa Muni, we still keep talking the old version of Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni is a pure devotee. When he sees Lord Ram face to face, he has a transformation of the heart, he becomes a pure devotee. He becomes a pure devotee by the time Krishna comes also. So any personality you take Ajamila, same. Shaubari Muni, we always talk about Shaubari Muni being underwater. He got attracted, seeing two fishes copulating, so he came out, went to a king of the state called Mandata and he says, I want to marry your daughters, who are all princesses. And he was having this ugly looking body because he was underwater. Why did he go underwater? He went underwater to protect himself from Maya. But then under the water only he get disturbed. He comes out, goes to the king Mandata and he says, I want to marry your daughters. He says like, get lost. Then he transforms himself into a beautiful prince because of his yogic power. Now all the 50 daughters of Mandata want to marry him. Then he marries all of them. he spends his time in sense enjoyment. And one fine morning he wakes up and he thinks, what a waste I am. Look at where I started. I actually went under the water. I was not even interested in this world. And I want to shut myself away from any avenue of sense enjoyment, for which I went under the water to protect myself. But there I got disturbed simply by seeing the sexual intercourse of two fishes. And here I am, I came out, transformed myself, married all of them, I have become a full Grahamedi. What a waste of life. Let me take up to Krishna Bhakti. He takes up to Krishna Bhakti. His wives were all sincere devotees of the Lord. They also practice bhakti with him. You read Bhagavatam, it's given. Sage Saubhari Muni, along with his 50 wives, they go back to Golok Vrindavan at the end of their life. We never talk about it. Madhurena samapayet. Every story has a happy ending. So it is possible. It gives us hope. Okay, there are more worse cases than us, which we see in the Shastra, who took the path of bhakti, they have attained success. So we need to have that confidence. Yes, it is possible. Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairyat. It is possible. We need to endeavor. We need to have patience. We need to have determination. We need to also have confidence. Yes, this will work. Shravana Kirtana. So when Shukadeva Goswami goes to the forest, shunning his family, his father, mother, everyone. Shukadeva Goswami is son of Vyasadeva. Goes to the forest. There, some of Vyasadev's disciples, they recite some verses from Bhagavatam. One of the verse is about glorifying the merciful nature of Krishna. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam. How merciful is Krishna. He is so merciful that he accepted the service of a Kechaki, a child-eating demoness by name Putana, even though she came to kill him, Stanakala Kutam, using poison, she came to kill him. He accepted her service just like how one would that of one's mother. And after killing her, elevated her to the position of his mother in spiritual world, sent her to spiritual world, giving her the position of being the mother of Krishna, one of the mothers of Krishna. Or mother means, Yashoda Maya is the mother, she is like one of the senior servants of Yashoda Maharani in spiritual world. So the song goes that, where can I find one more merciful than him? When Shukadeva Goswami, who at that point had shunned away his family, everyone, he is staying in the forest. When he heard the song, he rushed towards those students and he said, wow, who's this personality? By the way, these verses are like music to my ears. Where can I learn this? And then those boys said very proudly, we learned this from our spiritual master, Srila Vyasadeva. From dad? Because Shukadeva Goswami, that's when he realizes, hey, you learnt it from my dad, I'm going home. Then he comes back again to home, simply by hearing about Krishna. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Malihana kare se bija aropana. When the seed of bhakti is sown in our heart, we become the gardener of that seed. How many of you have experience with gardening? There are 3 Vaishnava sports that are given in the scriptures as conducive for one's development, generally, all-round development. Vaishnava sport means gardening is Vaishnava sport. Swimming is Vaishnava sport. Third one, not advisable, wrestling is Vaishnava sport. Prabhu, I'm playing with you. Okay, so in each one of these you will see, you will work very closely with the nature. The whole idea there is, you are totally dependent on Krishna. You become more conscious. So spirituality is not something where you become indifferent to this world. That's a very half-baked understanding. And it's being repeatedly condemned by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by Srila Prabhupada, by Rupa Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses the term Markata Vairagi. Markata Vairagi means monkey renunciate. Have you seen monkey wearing clothes? No. Have you seen monkey having any bank balance? No. Have you seen monkey having any properties? No. Now, if you take these qualities of monkey and you compare that with one human who says, I will give up everything, I will be like this. Till this point, your action is exactly like that of a monkey only. Does that make sense? But why is monkey looked down upon here? Monkey doesn't have any of this, but monkey will have 12 partners, which it will have sexual intercourse with practically every day. Markata Vairagi means, if somebody says, I'll renounce all of this, means that's not a great qualification, because even monkeys don't have any of. Monkey also don't have property. Monkey also doesn't wear clothes. Somebody may say, I'm Digambar, I won't wear any clothes. I'm renouncing even my clothes. Still, that doesn't make one any better than a monkey. But if one really want to elevate oneself, what matters is how one is engaging praner, arther, diya, vacha, deha, vak, buddhi, thoughts, words and deeds in the service of the Lord. That's what will determine whether one is a real renunciate or whether one is a monkey renunciate. Which means we can't prove to the Supreme Lord that, my Lord, I am very renounced. How? I don't wear clothes. Monkey also will say, my Lord, I also don't wear any clothes. Okay. I have no property. Monkey would also say, I have no property. So we can't convince the Lord. Does that make sense? My Lord, I don't have any home. Monkey also will say, my Lord, I also don't have any home. But then if we say, my Lord, I have given my thoughts, words and deeds to you, I have surrendered to you, I am chanting your holy name, I am doing seva for you. Monkey will be like, I quit. And then monkey would go. Understand? This is Markata Vairagi. You know who says this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this. Okay, so Mali means gardener. Each one of us, we are gardeners for the seed of bhakti that is sown in our heart by the Supreme Lord as well as by Guru. How do we water? How do we do the duty of gardener? By pouring water. What is that water that we are pouring? Hearing and chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is like pouring water to that seed. What will happen if you pour water to the seed, which is properly sown on a fertile ground? It will slowly start to sprout. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says next, Upajiya bade lata brahmanda bediyaya viraja brahma loka bedi paravyoma paya. When we keep watering by the process of shravana, kirtana, hearing and chanting, if we do, the seed slowly sprouts, become a creeper. Creeper goes past this universe. Paravyoma means to the spiritual sky. Okay, we all live in Bhuloka. Bhuloka is one of the 14 planetary systems. And if we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If I chant here, then the seed of my creeper goes, penetrates through the covering of the universe, which is very thick layers, penetrates through this, and then the creeper keeps on going where? Paravyoma. Vyoma means sky, Paravyoma means spiritual sky. What we see up is material sky. Paravyoma is beyond this universe. Okay, outside the covering of this universe. It penetrates through that and then it goes. And then where does it go? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says again, Tabayaya tadupari goloka vrindavana Krishna charana kalpa vrikshe khare arohana. That creeper keeps on going in the spiritual world. Finally it goes to Goloka Vrindavan. That's where Krishna is living. It then goes to the lotus feet of Krishna and it's taking his shelter. Okay, so the creeper keeps on growing. Finally it goes, takes shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. And what is Krishna's lotus feet compared to? Kalpa vrikshe, desire fulfilling tree. So this creeper goes takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. Tahari vistantahane phale prema phala ihan mali seche nitya shravanadi jala. By pouring the water here, which is Shravanam and Kirtanam, we keep on hearing, Krishna Prabhu, we keep on hearing, and then the creeper grows, going and taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, which is like a kalpa vriksha. Kalpa vriksha means desire fulfilling. Prabhupada says in spiritual world, if you feel like eating samosas, go to a kalpa vriksha tree. Every tree is a kalpa vriksha tree. You can ask, I want a samosa. Immediately you will get samosa. In spiritual world, everything is said as wish fulfilling. Cows are wish fulfilling. Holy name is wish fulfilling. Nama Chintamani Krishna. Trees are wish fulfilling. Chintamani stones are wish fulfilling. 4 things are given there. Any desire you have, it will immediately fulfill. So here, if we keep on pouring water, which is Shravanam and Kirtanam, if we keep on doing this, then this creeper goes, takes the shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna in spiritual world, which is like a desire fulfilling tree, and all our desires that we have within our heart, spiritual desires that we have within our heart, will get instantly fulfilled. And then this creeper would give the fruit. What is the fruit? Prema phala. Love of Krishna. Krishna prema, that is the fruit. Seed is seed of Krishna bhakti, bija. Then you pour water, then it grows to a lata. Lata means a creeper. Then it comes, finally takes shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. Then it gives phala, which is fruit, prema phala. Love for Krishna, that fruit it gives. How can a seed grow to give a fruit there? Simply by the process of hearing and chanting. Shravana, Kirtana. Now, Acharyas have written commentary to tell us why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is comparing bhakti to a lata, creeper. He could have easily said bhakti to a tree. He could have easily said bhakti to a bush. But why specifically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said this as a creeper? Because a creeper during its entire life, whether it's new, whether it's 2 months old, or whether it's fully advanced in its ripe age, it always needs support. It is never independent. So bhakti means it is something which we can practice only in the association of devotees. Alone, impossible. That's why earlier I was giving an example. You can be in this temple room. You may have a couple of devotees there with whom you may not be in good terms. Still, you will be in a protective situation. Why? You would still be a devotee. You would still act, at least, quote unquote, as a devotee. In comparison to you being in your room within 4 walls, now you have to battle with your mind. And most likely, you may not be actually acting as a devotee. Understand? So even apparently the most worst situation in your Krishna consciousness is still way better than your so-called secure position in material life. Does it make sense? That is why bhakti is compared to a creeper. Creeper always needs support. Whether it's 1 day old, 1 month old, 2 months old, 6 months old, from the time the seed is sown to the time it gives fruit, even after giving fruit, it always needs a support. Earth is the support. Creeper and climber. Climber means it can climb on other trees. Whereas creepers, they are just lying there on the ground. They always need support. That's why bhakti is compared to bhakti lata. Lata means creeper. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes on to explain, when you pour water, I'm pretty sure all of you have experience. You may sow a seed and you keep pouring, Water, many times, except the seed which you intend to grow, other weeds grow much more healthier around that. Have you come across that experience? You keep pouring, it comes out. I once went to a devotee's home and they were worshipping one plant, mistaking that to be Tulsi Marani for the previous 2 years. And then I saw, this is not Tulsi. This is not Tulsi. No, but Tulsi Marani would have still accepted your bhakti, but this is not Tulsi. Many times we pour water as gardeners, except the plant that we intend to see grow, everything else around grows. They are considered weeds, unwanted weeds. In bhakti also, when the seed is sown in our heart and we are pouring in the form of hearing and chanting, in addition to bhakti, there are other unwanted weeds that are also growing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will list 6 of them. Upashaka. Upashaka Gana means unwanted weeds. What are the difficulties or impediments in our bhakti? They are caused by these unwanted weeds. And we may think, I am hearing, I am chanting, I am watering. But rather than the main plant growing, other weeds start to take that energy, stunting the growth, in fact even malnourishing the main plant. That's the danger. Otherwise we may think, what's the harm? I'm anyway pouring, my plant is growing, others also let them grow. It looks very innocent. What we may not realize immediately is, when I'm pouring the water, it is pulling out the energy from the main plant. The energy that is intended to nourish for the main plant, it's now being wasted. It's now being pulled by these unwanted weeds. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, what are these unwanted weeds? So this is one kind of impediment, weeds. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions another type of impediment. Hati mata. Yadi Vaishnava aparada utte hati mata upadeva chinde tara shukiyaya pata. Imagine you are having this creeper and you let loose a mad elephant. Hati means elephant. Hati mata means maddened elephant. What do you think the elephant would do to the creeper? They'll trample, crush the plant to its depth. So when somebody actually has a nice garden, we are the mali, we are the garden here, and we let loose a mad elephant. What will do? The mad elephant, it will come and destroy the whole garden. So if I am a proper gardener, then I need to have a proper fence around my plant so that a mad elephant doesn't come and disturb it. What is this mad elephant compared to? Vaishnava aparada, offending other devotees. Krishna doesn't take it lightly. Somebody may offend Krishna. You can seek forgiveness for that by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Krishna will forgive. Okay, no problem. But if somebody offends Krishna's devotees, then Narasimha will come. Varaha Dev will come. Krishna himself will come. Lord Ram would come. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So when his devotees are put into difficulty, at that time Krishna himself comes, he kills. Vinashaya chadushkritam. Krita means action. Shukrita means right action, good action. Dushkrita means bad action. Vinashaya means to destroy, to kill. Vinashaya cha dushkritam. Krishna kills those who do bad things, which means bad people. So how do we protect ourselves? Now we may say, Kamsa is a bad guy, he is actually offending. That is okay. But here we are devotees, we may also offend others. We may not intend to, but it is possible. Agree? Now somebody may be, let's say, sitting and chanting japa, you talk loud. The person would get disturbed. Who is that? You may see somebody sitting and chanting japa peacefully. Suddenly you come, pull the harmonium and you start to sing without having any consideration for the other person. They would get disturbed. Somebody coming very hungry, Prabhuji, can I get some prasad now? No. Or wait until another 3 hours. They may get offended. Many things. If you talk in a bit rough language, people will get offended. Words can make or break relationships. So one has to be very, very mindful how one uses the words. But this is only one level of doing aparad. You can do aparad by your thoughts also. You intend something bad about the person. Possible. Helplessly you would think. And you may be thinking, my Lord, I'm sitting in front of you. I'm holding japa. Still my mind is thinking bad about the person. You may not even own that thought. It will come. Sometimes I tell the youth, Prabhu, mind goes like this. Sometimes. I tell them, sometimes. All the time it goes like that. Prabhu, I feel very bad. It's happening only to me. I tell them, I thought it was only me. So it happens to you too. It happens for everyone. Understand? So how can we control that? So you can do aparad by thoughts. You can do aparad by words. You can do aparad physically also, deeds also. Correct? Physically. Pushing the person. None of these is going to be favorable for our bhakti. I'll tell you one story. It's a big topic. We'll continue this next week. But I'll finish with one story. Once there were a group of sages who had a doubt. This is a prelude to history of Lord Balaji. How many of you know Balaji? In South India, Tirupati? Yes. So this is a story prelude to the appearance of Lord Balaji. So once there were a group of yogis who had a debate. Who is the greatest? Is it Brahma who is greatest, Shiva greatest, or Vishnu greatest? So then they couldn't come to a conclusion. Then amongst them they nominated one sage who is very respected, who is a very respected Brahmana amongst all of them. His name is Bhrigu Muni. So Bhrigu Muni is to go find out and report back to the assembly of the Brahmanas. So Bhrigu Muni thinks, all right, let me go first to Vishnu, to Lord Brahma. He goes to Brahma. Brahma is very happy to see him. But then he doesn't show any respect to him. He offended Brahma by just his thoughts. He didn't say anything, he didn't do anything, but then that's the problem. Sometimes not doing anything is also offensive. Do you know? I'll give you an example. Let us say there is a robbery happening somewhere and there is a policeman sitting and he did nothing. Do you think he will get appreciation from his superiors or suspension? But if the policeman says, hey, but I am innocent, I didn't do nothing. That's the problem. It's not a feature, it's a flaw. Why didn't you do anything? Understand? So not doing anything is not good all the time. Understand? So it's not just, sometimes you have to do something to offend a person. Sometimes by not doing anything also you can offend a person. As per Shastra, if you look at a fellow devotee, you are supposed to at least smile. Look at each other and smile. If you look at a person and you don't even acknowledge, that's offending, correct? If let us say you go to your home, your mother says, hi beta, how are you? Your dad comes, you don't even say hi, nothing. You are very indifferent. It offends. Now we may think in our age, not my age, I'm 45 now, but in your small age, oh, this is very cool. This is not cool. Your karma is actually going in a negative now. You better actually pull up your socks and act positively. These things will add up, and at one point it will come against you. Okay, so here Bhrigu Muni, by not greeting, by not respecting Lord Brahma, he offended. He offended by thoughts. And then he could see Brahma is getting upset with him. Here I am greeting him, he is not even responding back. When Brahma showed a little anger, Bhrigu concludes he can't be supreme. Why? I didn't greet him, but that alone is good enough to disturb him. That means he can't be. Correct? In one sense, that's like a slavery. Correct? If I give how I behave control to someone else, that means who is living my life? Not me, the other person. Okay, so somebody practicing spirituality, they will be very well grounded in their bhakti. Their focus will be only for Krishna. I'll tell you one other story. When Varahadev comes, Varahadev is the boar incarnation of the Lord. He comes to rescue planet Earth, which was dunked in Garbhodaka ocean, which is 2 billion miles in depth. As per Vedic cosmology, the whole universe is 4 billion miles in diameter. Half of that is filled with water, which means the depth of the Garbhodaka ocean is 2 billion miles. How many of you watched this movie Mahavatar Narsimha? Good. If you haven't, please do get a chance. There you will see a very beautiful depiction. That's the most beautiful depiction of Varahadev I have ever come across. So nice. So there you will see Varahadev diving deep in that and going right to the bottom of the ocean and rescuing planet Earth and placing her back in the orbit. So there, Varahadev, when he dives down, picks up the earth and he goes, and when he is in the process of reinstating earth to her original orbit, all along that way, the villain in that story, villain in that Leela, which is Hiranyaksha, he keeps hurling insults on Varahadev. You are a coward. I am here asking you to challenge. Why are you running away? Stand there, fight back with me. Varahadev ignores him because Varahadev's focus is not so much to attack him back as much as to assure Mother Earth. Understand? For Krishna, devotees are the first priority. So, Krishna doesn't get disturbed. Krishna is fighting Jarasandha, and then he is getting a letter that a love letter from Rukminiji saying they have arranged marriage with one demon called Shishupal. So please come and rescue me. My marriage is tomorrow morning. If you don't come and rescue me, then I will quit my body. Now, Krishna knows all too well. It's the same Krishna who tells Arjuna, if you run away from battlefield, you will get bad name. And for a Kshatriya, dishonor is worse than death. He says all of that. But same Krishna says, all right, there is Rukmini and there is Jarasandha and my duty as a Kshatriya. Forget it. Rukmini is important. So he goes, taking the bad name, Ranachor. There is a temple, Ranachor Raya. Only Krishna can get nice names like that. People still worship him. Wah, 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 Such a great Lord who ran away from battlefield. But for what? Not out of fear. He ran because Rukminiji is more important for him. So here Bhrigu, considering all that, he concludes he can't be Supreme Lord because he is getting disturbed. Then he goes to meet Shiva. Shiva addresses him, oh my dear brother, please come and accept my embrace. Bhrigu Muni says, no, you are Muchi. You stay in a crematorium. Your body is always covered with ashes. Then Shiva gets very upset, picks up his Trishul, ready to attack him. Parvati Devi has to intervene to stop. No, he's your brother, please stop him, it's okay. Bhrigu is actually also come from Brahma, Shiva also come from Brahma. So they address each other as brothers. Then Bhrigu, first time he offended with his thoughts by not doing nothing. Second time he offended Shiva by words. But again Shiva showed anger. Then he concludes, Shiva can be supreme. Then he goes to Vishnu. When he goes to Vishnu, Vishnu is in Shirasagar. He is lying on the beautiful serpent bed with his lotus feet being massaged by Lakshmiji. And then you might have seen in some movies, door opens, toing, 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 goes. And then inside he walks. Bhrigu Muni walks straight, and Vishnu is in Yoga Nidra taking a nap, and then Lakshmiji is massaging. Bhrigu comes without giving any warning, he kicks Vishnu on his chest. Vishnu immediately gets up, gets from his bed, greets Bhrigu Muni, makes Bhrigu Muni seated on the same bed and massages his feet, telling to Bhrigu Muni, your feet is so soft like a lotus, my heart is very hard like a rock. By kicking me, your feet must have felt hurt. Really sorry. Bhrigu Muni's heart gets melted. And he concludes, he has to be supreme. And he comes and tells to the assembly of the Brahmanas, Vishnu is supreme, and then he narrates this lila. This is, as I said, a prelude to Balaji lila. Okay, so normally when someone offenses, by thoughts, it doesn't affect us that much. If somebody affects, insults us by words, that affects us, definitely. But if someone offends us physically, that disturbs us the most. Vishnu passes the test whose difficulty level is the highest. Does that make sense? He is physically offended, still he is not disturbed. That's the conclusion. So here, Hati Mata. When we offend other devotees, either thinking something wrong. Why? I once was giving a class, one devotee asked, Prabhu, sometimes I feel bad about, some devotees. I'm not saying anything, but thinking is okay, right? I said it's not okay. Why? Thoughts will eventually become deeds. You will see people sometimes speak bad words. Did they sit and practice bad words? No. Just hearing some book, it just comes out. Oh, I didn't intend to, but where did it come from? Simply hearing, one day it came out. Same way, thoughts will eventually become words, words will eventually become deeds. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. If you want to control anger, if you want to control your mind, you have to start from Dhyayato, from thought process itself. But if you think, let me think bad, as long as I don't do it physically, thinking something bad is okay. It's not okay, because first thing is, we are compromising on our integrity. What we are and what we actually are two separate personality, which is a problem. We'll start losing respect on ourselves. Second thing, this will drain up our energy. Third thing, whatever bad thoughts we have, eventually they will come to manifest against us. Terms and conditions apply. So we have to be very, very mindful. Thank you for your kind attention. We will continue next week. As I said, this is a long section, but very, very practical section for us to practice bhakti, so that we follow the process in a proper way. Prabhupada would often say, it's not just enough that we take medicine for a disease, it's important to also follow the proper dosage. It is also important to follow a proper diet. Bhakti is also same. We are in a diseased condition in material world. It's not just enough that we follow the process. What also matters is how we follow the process. What is the KPI in this path? How are we ensuring that I am putting so much effort and I am heading in the right direction and I am getting the proper result? That's why following the process is important. We'll continue next week about the unwanted weeds, Upashaka Gana. Any questions if you have? Otherwise we can complete. Yes, sir. Hare Krishna. Tricky. Good question. Very good question. Practical question. So the question here is, I mentioned about associating with devotees. Sometimes spending too much time also is detrimental to our bhakti. Sometimes we think, no, let me maintain a balance and stay away from them. That also can give rise to pride in my mind that I am superior and the other person is inferior, and I can look down upon others in a more condescending way. Condescending way means in a very offensive way. They are down and I am up, like that. In a judgmental way, so to speak. Good point. Let me qualify association. Association means coming together and talking about Krishna. That's association. That's not detrimental. But if we think, I will come together with devotees and talk about 2020 cricket, that's not association. That's bad association. Understand? Association means you come together and our heart needs to have a positive transformation. That is a proper association. And you are right. Prabhupada says we need to show a certain sense of discrimination, like about which is good company and which is bad company. Because bhakti also is a slow process, but sure process. Which means all of us, we come from different background and we bring our own baggage. So we can't expect everyone to be pure devotees straight away. Prabhupada would say, bhakti, or we are coming to temple is like a hospital and we are like sick patients. We don't need to be very proud. You know what? I have only headache. That guy has a stomachache. What so? Why so being proud about having headache? Everyone is in diseased condition. So we have to understand we are not pure and others are impure. That tendency is wrong. At the same time, if I have a headache, I can choose to be with the people who will make much less noise so I can recover much more faster. Does it make sense? So we can use our own sense of discrimination to discern right from wrong. Okay, I can associate with these devotees, and in association also I have to discuss about Krishna. Otherwise, in the name of association, I can completely exhaust my energy. Understand? Now, coming back to your other point, by staying away from someone, what if pride comes? Intention matters in everything. Okay, so we should be praying to Krishna that I want to protect my bhakti, but I don't want to even mentally offend others. Please give me the intelligence with which I can balance. I can still maintain friendly relationship with everyone, but I don't need to sit and spend time hours and hours and hours talking about nothing, which is going to be beneficial for my bhakti. So that one we need to do. Saving oneself is the highest principle. If we can take care of ourselves, then we'll be in a position to serve others also. But if we compromise ourselves, that's a problem. In flight they say, when the oxygen supply goes low, you will see a mask coming. But then if there is a parent, the parent is supposed to put the mask first before helping the child. But if the parent is too busy putting the mask to the child, the parent will fall dizzy. But then who will take care of the child now? Understand? So taking care of ourselves is also included in taking care of others. Does that make sense? Unless we are clear, we are healthy, spiritually and materially, we can't take care of others. Good question. Thank you. We'll stop there. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai. Samaveda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.